What's up, your boy Domuto here, back with another video. Today, we are watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super Primal Ultra Instinct Goku versus Master Ultra Ego. Vegeta begins a new event. I want to double up on this so I can get all caught up, so I can just, keep up. But he making these ones kind of long, 30 minutes. This is 44 minutes today, so he making these kind of long. So we're gonna just have to catch up the old-fashioned way, one at a time, until he get like a 20-minute one in there. If he get 20 minutes in, then we're gonna double up. But anyway, we get into it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and there you go. Out to UnrealEntGaming.
As our story now continues back on Beerus' planet, following the initial training session involving the Grand Priest, Goku, and Vegeta, with the Saiyans being shown taking their first ever loss against him, as with the Grand Priest being shown having to leave an ominous message behind and having to leave our heroes guessing as to what this was all about, was when Vegeta then went on to quickly respond, "Oh, damn it, Kakarot, do you see what your big fat mouth may have just gotten us all into? Why can't you ever just think before you speak? For this is all your fault. Because if you didn't go and bring up the fact of wanting another tournament to take place after we just got done getting rid of Frieza and his brother Cooler, then the idea of there being another tournament being held wouldn't have crossed the Omni King's mind. But no, as you just had to go and open your big fat mouth in front of those two, and now look, you idiots. Do you have any idea on the kind of pressure that this is going to go and put on all of us Vegeta questions? For your thoughtlessness just might go and bring about another disaster, Kakarot," with Goku responding, "Whoa, just take it easy now, would you, Vegeta? Look, I know that I may have been the one to mention the idea of another tournament that was similar to the one that I was already in, participating against the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse having to take place, but maybe they just went and forgot about it, I mean, they have so many other things to focus on, right? And so maybe they'll just forget about my suggestion altogether and, well, just move on to something less destructive, or maybe they won't even go through by hosting anything at all, Vegeta," with Vegeta responding, "Oh, this is just infuriating. For how could we, the strongest Saiyans in the universe, not even lay a finger on the Grand Priest and struggle this much? For his skills along with his power are beyond anything that I was ever able to encounter in anyone like him before, and so it's just maddening. But I refuse to be discouraged like this, because despite knowing that my mastered Ultra Ego form did nothing to get the better of him, this just only now means that I'll have to try and climb even higher to reach him," Vegeta continues. "But how, and what did he mean by what he said about my flaws?" Vegeta questions. "Was he really able to figure me out that quickly and dictate the outcome of our battle based on what he was able to see, or what?" Well, although I understand your frustration," Goku responds, "because trust me, I do feel the same way about this that you do about what happened, but how is it that you see us getting any stronger and actually being able to challenge someone like him, and especially if we were barely able to do much of anything against him while engaging him by using our strongest levels of power?" Goku asks. "And better yet is, how exactly do you think you'll be able to climb even higher and expect for whatever you obtain to be enough?" As Whis and Beerus went on to then suddenly show up by then responding, "Well, even if the two of you were to try and evolve yourselves into discovering greater levels of power that exceed the forms which you both currently wield," Beerus responds, "whether it's the power of an angel or the power of a destroyer, the Grand Minister would still be within a league of his own," with Whis chiming in, "Well, what I think Lord Beerus is trying to say is that even though the Grand Minister is far beyond where either one of you currently are within the moment, the best course of action to take if you wish to contend against them on a far greater level would be for the two of you to not only continuously engage by having to train, but by also attempting to erase the flaws which the Grand Minister had seen within you both, and further progress yourselves in honing your skills along the way," Whis continues. "And while you both have come extremely far since the day where Lord Beerus and I had first laid eyes on you, there is still more for the two of you to go and strive for, and so sitting there and doing nothing about it just won't help you in the long run. Now you better not go and get the wrong idea here, Beerus went on to then chime back in, because the two of you are extremely lucky that the Grand Minister had taken it easy on you the way he did.
Shit.
Otherwise, the two of you would have been goners, as Whis went on to then extend his hand out towards Goku by then responding, and while we are both thankful that you are still with us, let us carry on and continue your training in further having to improve upon the areas which you are both still lacking heavily within, which I know for a fact that you will already go and do, Beerus went on to then inform Vegeta by responding, and so stand back up and rise on your feet, Vegeta, for there is still much more for you to go and do while you're still on my planet, with Whis being shown helping Goku up and then responding, well as I'm also sure that Goku here will also go and do the same as well. But while we were keeping score of how many hits you were able to land by comparison to the amount of blows that the Grand Minister had landed on you both, we did also keep track of everything that we saw, which could also be improved upon, and so before we proceed, it's important to recognize the flaws in your approach while wielding your angel form, Goku, for your relentless pursuit of bringing out the best in your opponent can be extremely detrimental, Whis continues, as this approach gives your enemy many opportunities to counterattack and exploit your weaknesses against you, which really isn't that smart of an idea when engaging against someone equally as powerful or stronger than you, but moreover you tend to overexert yourself by using more of your angelic power than necessary, which also runs the risk of complete depletion of your energy during the course of battle, which is also something that the Grand Minister had pointed out, which also means gaining more experience while using such a form, Whis continues, so that way, by the time you are shown engaging in such battles, you aren't burnt out or exhausted by the time the battle reaches its climax, or even worse, during the very beginning, Whis says. And as for you, Beerus went on to then address Vegeta, while your mastery of destruction within your perfected Ultra Ego form may be impressive,
he found out they really out here teaching my boy Vegeta, boy. Okay,
unsuspecting opportunities and openings for your enemy to go and take control of, and so while you allow for your mind to stay on destruction, you will need to also calm your anger down so that way your enemies don't go and use it against you, Vegeta, as additionally, you will need to start using your opponent's energy against them, either by turning their attacks back against them or by converting their energy into a form of a passive healing method for yourself, so that way during the course of any battle that you find yourself in, you may either heal the damages that you have already taken or use whatever power is thrown at you right back towards your enemy, with Goku then having to quickly chime in. Wait, so does that mean that we aren't going to go and take a quick lunch break before we resume our training again?
Goku.
And because not for nothing, but having to have Vegeta constantly yell inside of my ear while engaging against the Grand Priest was really exhausting, and so could we maybe go and grab a quick snack or something before we get back to training again, Goku questions? And speaking of, if the Grand Priest isn't here to spar with us again, then does that mean that we'll have to go and train with both you and Lord Beerus instead? As Vegeta went on to then chime in. Oh, you see, this was exactly what I meant when I said that you have a really big mouth that you just don't know how to close, Kakarot. Oh no, I don't like it when you're quiet like this, Whis. Beerus went on to then turn over by responding. And so you're not really going to have us engage against these two this early on now, are you? Because you know as to what my answer is going to be, and so you can go and forget about it. Or I'd rather go and train Vegeta alone without Goku having to try and stick his nose where it doesn't belong, and so now what are you thinking? With Whis responding, well, although it would be best for us to go and train them both individually, since of course that would be more than likely the best approach engaging to see as to where they both stand, but we need something quick and easy that will deliver on all fronts when in battle, and so wait, I know. Yes, that'll be perfect, for I know exactly on what we're going to go and do, and since it's been a while since we were last shown having to see these two engage in a one-on-one battle against each other, Whis continues, and I think it's time that we go and find out on just which one of our students here is truly the strongest, and so a competitive one-on-one showcase between them ought to be what does the trick, and so here's what I suggest for us to go and do. To which all the while in the meantime, as this was shown going down on Beerus's planet, when then having to make our way on over into Zeno's palace and seeing the Grand Priest having to be shown taking down notes upon the Omni Kings being shown giving him instructions and ideas, was when the Grand Priest then went on to respond, "No, right now, and so with everything that it was that you have both mentioned thus far, sires, let us go and start from the very top and work our way all the way back down to the bottom, beginning with your ideal scenario for how you would like to host the second Tournament of Power, and so you may want to list off your wishes to me now, so that way I will go and do my best to try and make them all come true for you both, with the present Omni King responding, okay, well for starters, we want to go and make sure that the second Tournament of Power is held in a really big space, and so maybe we can go and host it within the tournament realm if it hasn't already been completely destroyed by now, and then we want a big enough ring where it's much larger than the previous ring that we were shown having to have those universes compete in, but we also want it to be different enough to where it's not exactly the same stage as any of the previous ones were either, with the future Omni King chiming in. Yeah, and what we also want to do is we want to be able to influence the tournament in any other way that we see fit by allowing for us to have a tablet like last time, only we want to be able to have interactive features that allow for us to dictate the match types, match styles, and number of warriors involved in a battle, and so much more. And so do make sure that the tournament this time around follows more of a bracket style contest instead of a free-for-all one, okay? Hey, and don't forget to tell him about the kinds of competitors that we want to see be a part of the tournament as well, future me, with the future Omni King responding, oh right, and by the way, we want to ensure that we have the absolute strongest be a part of this tournament as well, which not only includes the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse, but we want to have the strongest warriors from across the entire Omniverse a part of this too. They want to go and do what? The Omni Guards shockingly went on to then respond. The top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse and the additional strongest from across the entire Omniverse too? Do they mean from every and all other realities and timelines as well? As both of the Omni Kings then went on to respond. That's right, and for the second Tournament of Power to live up to its title as being the biggest and craziest tournament in all of history, then we want the absolute best of the best to come and be a part of this, for we envision that the Tournament of Power 2 to be the greatest spectacle that creation has ever seen, in having it encompass every reality, every timeline, and every other alternate world that we can reach out into and have them showcase their absolute best, encompassing every reality, every timeline, and every other alternate world that we can reach out into and have them showcase their absolute best against us, alongside having to feature the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse as the headlines for this event as well, as this will also go and ensure that we witness the true extent of everyone's power and skill, and only from there having to find out on which one of these warriors is the strongest among them all, and that includes having us fight too. And so we'll go and announce not just 1 but 2 grand prizes for the winners of this entire event, as we'll also be giving each warrior purpose by informing them that if they choose not to go and accept our terms and conditions for this second Tournament of Power, then we'll just go and erase them along with their entire timelines and homeworlds from which they have happened to come from. For there will be no exceptions and no excuses, the Omni Kings continue, and while we want each of the rounds for this tournament to be completely randomized based on what we select on our god pads, we also want you to go and include the following match types for our upcoming event, ranging from the following, the Omni Kings continue: single battles, tag team battles, triple threat battles, fatal 4-way battles, multi-man free-for-all battles, handicap battles, triple tag team battles, and lastly, a graveyard battle for the warriors who were shown having to lose previously, and giving them one more chance to climb back into the race after going as far as to defeat all of those who were also shown having to lose, and giving them one final chance to try their hand in the main lineup. Goodness, the Grand Priest responds, well, I didn't expect for the two of you to have already thought about all of this with such great details behind it all, but, well, since I'm now starting to get a better idea of the things that you are both looking to incorporate within the second Tournament of Power,
they're
then my only
erase
question
them along with the entire
is how will all of
timeline.
this be done, the Grand
It's
Priest
crazy if they
asks,
didn't want to
and what I
join.
mean by this, of course, is instead of having to push such an event out and not give any of these warriors time to prepare, did you both happen to also come up with a date on when you would like for this to take place, sires? As the Omni Kings then went on to respond, well, that's a good one, because we really didn't go and think about when this second Tournament of Power was going to start, but we actually figured that we'd go and start the tournament a little later tomorrow, so that way we wouldn't be able to go and miss out on it, the present Omni King responds. Well, I actually believe that by hosting the Tournament of Power 2 by tomorrow would be a little unfair to all of those who are unaware of such an event, but here, the Grand Priest responds, why don't we just go and do this instead, so that way we can go and sort everything out in real time together then, sires? And if anything, then maybe you can go and tell me as to what it is that the two of you would like for me to go and do and put together, so that way we can go and already have everything ready for once this grand event finally begins. Oh, and don't worry, as not only will I hereby show you on where this event will be held, but I will also go as far as to build the stage right in front of you as we speak, sires, with the Omni Kings responding, hey, yeah, that sounds like fun, and we can also go and tell him on what else we want to add that'll be a part of the event too. This sounds like so much fun, and so let's go, let's go, let's go. To which it was only then with the two Omni Kings then shown following the Grand Priest within the tournament realm was when the present Omni King then went on to continue. Oh, and don't forget to remind the Grand Minister about the match types that we'd like to see be added on our god pads either, other me. Oh, you mean as in the other match types that we didn't mention? Oh, I won't, but don't forget to also remind the Grand Minister, the future Omni King continues, that we also need to talk about the prizes of whoever is going to win the Tournament of Power 2, along with what will happen to all of those who will go on to lose if they don't make it until the very end, other me. And so now, here we are, my lords. The Grand Priest then went on to welcome both of the Omni Kings within the tournament realm, but do please excuse the mess that is shown, for we were in a bit of a rush and had left this entire realm unattended while making our way towards Earth with the Saiyan mortals Goku and Vegeta, and because of this, well, the tournament realm was kept the way it was before having to leave, and so here we are with the Omni Kings responding, whoa, this place looks really torn down and badly destroyed since the last time that you were here. Well, I guess this place does appear to be very much a mass rubble of stone and debris, the Grand Priest responds, but if anything, are you able to see any particular location in which you would like to see the stage be set in, sires? With the present Omni King responding, well, good question, but how about we go and build the stage right on top of where the previous ring was held before it was destroyed? And even though we want to build a much larger stage than the one that we had before, the present Omni King continues, how are we going to go and build such a ring with all of that rubble down there that's getting in the way? Oh, and aside from the stage itself, the future Omni King then went on to quickly chime in, we also want to go and add a throne area for the two of us, yourself, and the four strongest in the multiverse, so that way all of us can go and watch as the tournament unfolds. However, what we also want to go and do is we want to go and add a spectator area around the stage as well, but we want two separate areas that will divide each side. And so do you think that we can go and get that done with all of this trash that's floating beneath us? With the Grand Priest responding, well, fair point then, and so let's see something here. How about, yes, I know exactly on what to do. For in order for this to go smoothly and according to your wishes, the Grand Priest went on to then raise his arm by responding, I will first go on to clean this entire mess up by using parts of the previous stage in order for us to construct a new one, and then I will go and design it based on how you want it to be in real time, as I also go and construct the spectator seats and throne areas, so that way you can go and tell me on whether or not you approve of the layout, sires. And while I am at it, I will need for you both to tell me on exactly how big you want for everything to be, so that way it all checks out by the time I'm done, the Grand Priest continues. And so with all of the notes that I have gathered, that goes based on how you want this to be, if you would both be so kind as to hold on to these for me in the meantime, please, as while I go and do this, I will need for you both to let me know as to what you'd like and what you don't like as I construct the ring before your very eyes, because the more that I can see on what needs to be changed, the faster that I will go and apply these changes for you, sires, the Grand Priest says. Whoa, wow, so everything is going to be built in real time in the ways which we want them to be? Both of the Omni Kings then went on to quickly respond, this is so cool! And so now hurry, because now we can't wait, with the Grand Priest then responding, oh, don't you both worry, because I have just the design in mind that I believe that you will both love very, very much. But let us go and start by moving all of this aside then, and measure the size of just how massive we want for this stage and their seats to be then, shall we? To which all the while in the meantime, we're then having to venture back over into Universe 7 in seeing as to how Whis and Beerus were now preparing and having Goku and Vegeta spar against each other, was when Whis went on to then respond, well, now this ought to be what will help set you both apart, as this will not only go as far as to test each of your limits, but it will also help you both go as far as to understand your own unique strengths and weaknesses, just as the Grand Minister had went and posted about. And so I do encourage for the both of you to give it your absolute best, and remember, this isn't just necessarily about winning or losing, but it's mainly about helping study each other's moves, strategies, and techniques that'll help you both in the long run, as Beerus went on to then respond, and while I want this to be brief without having the both of you destroy my planet, I expect for the two of you to give it your all, with the exception of your angel form from being used throughout this contest against Vegeta, and so don't even think about using it, Goku. Primal only, with Whis having to inform Goku by then responding, "Now as you step into this battle with Vegeta, I want you to go and remember the lessons that you've learned during your training with me, as I expect for you to give it everything that you have and hold nothing back against him while you're out there," Whis continues. "But while you do, remember to also stay mindful of the Grand Priest's criticisms, for you cannot run the risk of making the same mistakes as you did before, and so do make sure to go and keep everything that you were told in mind, Goku," as Beerus went on to address Vegeta by responding, "This is your moment to go and shine your light over him and remind that Saiyan on just who exactly it is that you are, and so I want you to go and let everything go and show no mercy to him until you either knock him out or make him submit against you, Vegeta. But also don't forget to keep the Grand Priest's criticisms at the forefront of your mind and use what you were told to your advantage," to which, as Goku was then shown having to address Vegeta, was when Goku then went on to respond, "Well, I just want to go and say that I truly hope that you're ready, because you're about to go and face a version of me that you've never encountered in battle before, Vegeta, because not only is my Primal Ultra Instinct form going to directly challenge your mastered Ultra Ego form like never before, but it's also going to completely dominate it as well, and so I hope that you don't take anything to heart by the time you and I are done here, because I'm about to go and show you the true difference between your power and mine in a matter of moments," Goku says. "And so what do you say we go and skip the warm-up then and jump right into it then, shall we? So you ready, Vegeta?" With Vegeta responding, "Or so you think, Kakarot, because like it or not only are you about to go and experience a power that surpasses all 12 gods of destruction, but you are about to go and experience a very rude awakening and witnessing the downfall of your combined primal power by the hands of a far superior warrior, Kakarot. And so by all means, if you're ready to go and skip the warm-up and jump right into the real action, then that's fine by me. And so now let's just see on what you can do. So I'm ready. Now let's go." To which, as Whis was then shown having to spawn an hourglass right before having to begin the battle, was when Beerus then went on to respond, "Whis, you said that this would be short now, wouldn't it? And so how long do you have that thing set for?" Beerus questions.
I'm looking up. I'm
watching
the
or was that just
Commanders
all talk?
and,
With Whis responding,
Seahawks.
"Well, depending on what happens moving forward, I think that in order for us to gauge in seeing where they stand, I think 5 minutes ought to be a reasonable amount of time, because anything more than that and we can kiss this entire universe goodbye. And so do make sure to try and learn as much as you both can possibly learn from one another throughout the course of this contest, because knowledge is of course the key to many successful outcomes after all. And so with that now said, mighty warriors, if you are both focused and finally ready," Whis went on to then spawn his hourglass before having to be shown flipping it, "then you may go and finally begin your battle right now." To which, as both Goku and Vegeta were immediately shown jumping into their strongest levels, was when Beerus then went on to quickly chime back in, "Yes, now this ought to be a good one, but I'm telling you here and now that your student is going to fall short of rivaling my Vegeta's power in battle, Whis. And if you somehow want to go and continue to doubt me," Beerus continues, "then you're about to go and find out the hard way on why you shouldn't, Whis." With Whis responding, "Now while I don't doubt Vegeta's ability to hang in there against Goku and even go as far as to fight back against him, I'm afraid that you'd be mistaken if you think that Vegeta is going to easily best Goku in this upcoming contest. But I'll just let this go and allow for you to see this the hard way once they transform and begin to engage, and so don't say that I didn't go and warn you ahead of time, my lord. However, correct me if I'm wrong, but you did of course mention on how Vegeta's mastered Ultra Ego form was said to be stronger than any of the other 11 gods of destruction, including yourself, didn't you, Whis questions? As surely this must bother you if that is proven to be the case now, wouldn't it, my lord?
That nigga Whis talking shit.
Well, typically it would have, but if I had to choose for any other mortal to bear my title as being the strongest, then I'd rather go and choose Vegeta over that idiot Goku of yours, Whis. But even with that aside, Goku better not go and use that angel form of his throughout the course of this battle, because since Vegeta isn't quite ready to go and tangle with a power of that magnitude, attitude, his Primal Ultra Instinct level ought to be his absolute maximum in this fight or else. But would you go on and look at this? Whis Beerus went on to question upon seeing both Goku and Vegeta ascend into their strongest levels of power. For who would have thought that these mortals would be representing us as our proteges, but alas, we will now find out on which one of them is truly the strongest, and I have no doubt that it'll be Vegeta who will walk away with the victory by the end, Whis, and so just you wait. Well, and I second this Whis response, for I too never expected to take up someone like Goku as being his direct master, but even then, in time, you will slowly come to realize the true meaning of Goku's ultimate potential. And while they do stand the test of time in being the absolute strongest warriors to emerge from Universe 7, Whis continues, you must admit that this is certainly a sight to behold now, isn't it, my lord? With Beerus responding, yeah, well, don't get ahead of yourself here, because at the end of the day, those two still have to answer to me as their governing god of destruction. But I will give credit where credit is due right here, Whis. To which it was only then moments later as Vegeta was shown jumping into his mastered Ultra Eagle form, as Goku was shown jumping into his Primal Ultra Instinct form, was when Vegeta then went on to address Goku by responding, and now, do you feel it, Kakarot? For it's been ages since I can last recall feeling the way I currently feel and wanting to crush you like this. But yet here we both are, and so now tell me, are you truly prepared for the consequences that you are about to go and experience here against me? Because I certainly can't wait to finally go and get my hands on you, but how about you? And don't try to go and flatter yourself just because you were said to have gone up against the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse either. Because the only reason as to why you were allowed to go as far as you did was because I wasn't around to crush you. And so now, are you ready to be crushed, Kakarot? With Goku responding, Vegeta, you have no idea as to what you're in for, because although you may think that you're ready, but in reality, you have no idea on what's coming. And so for your sake, I do hope that this new form of yours can hold out long enough to survive, because once we start fighting, there will be no holding back, and so I hope that you're truly ready for what I'm about to go and bring to you, Vegeta. And while you may have went and refined this form of yours a bit more than I expected for you to go and do within the last year, Goku continues, and I just hope that for your sake that it'll be strong enough to hold out on what I'm about to go and bring your way, with Vegeta being shown pointing out by responding, oh, that's rich, but just you wait, because although you may in fact be within the prime of your power for the time being, nothing is going to prepare you for the destructive might that I have waiting for you, Kakarot. Or so you say, Goku responds, but don't say I go and didn't warn you.
I wonder how he gonna get Vegeta to match. He gotta get Vegeta to somehow get on par with the angel form that Goku got.
Because there's a reason as to why they put us up against each other here like this.
How much can the tail get him that far?
Prove my point in this battle once I show you that I am the stronger warrior between us, Vegeta, and so I'm ready. Oh, this is going to be good, Beerus went on to then rub his hands by quickly responding. And so I hope that you're ready to go and eat your words, Whis, because your idiot of a student Goku is going down, with Whis responding, well, if you insist, but don't go throwing a fit and screaming at me when Goku emerges victorious by the end of this contest, Lord Beerus. And so I'm just going and telling you that now, and so you've been warned, Whis says. Now, while I'm waiting for you to go and make the first move here against me, Vegeta went on to then slowly approach Goku by responding, why don't I just go and give you more of a reason to attack me, since you appear to be waiting for something, and you better not disappoint me either, otherwise you are completely doomed, Kakarot. Right, well then don't say that I didn't warn you, Vegeta, to which as Goku was then shown unleashing multiple force punches upon having to make contact on Vegeta's body. It was only just upon with Goku's initial engagement with Vegeta now understanding as to what exactly Goku was planning on doing was when Vegeta quickly went on to then respond, but of course you would, as these high caliber strikes of yours are starting to get very annoying, with Goku questioning, you wanted me to go and be the one to make the first move, right? Well, you went and got your wish, and so now what are you going to go and do about it? But then, it was only from out of nowhere just then, with a gigantic wall of destruction barrier being shown having to defend Vegeta from Goku's attacks, was when Goku then went on to continue, I see, but that isn't going to help you, because if you think that putting up a barrier to defend yourself was going to be what saves you, then you are in for a rude awakening, Vegeta. But then, it was just upon with Goku then shown having to say this, with Vegeta quickly shown emerging by getting ready to attack Goku, was when Vegeta quickly went on to then respond. And that's where you're wrong, because the only one here who is going to be in for a rude awakening here is going to be you. To which it was only then within that very moment, as Master Ultra Ego Vegeta had gone as far as to collide against Primal Ultra Instinct Goku, and from there being shown creating a gigantic shockwave, was when Beerus went on to then quickly chime back in. Oh, those two better dial down the force behind those attacks that they're letting off out there, because I'm not going to have them wreck my planet just because they feel like they can. You know, I never doubted you for a second, and knowing that this wasn't going to be easy, Goku then went on to reply upon being shown stopping Vegeta's strike. But you should also know that no matter what it is that you go and try on me, it's not going to work, Vegeta. And so what do you say, Goku questions? You want to go and try that one on me again and see if it works in your favor this time? With Vegeta responding, or so you think, Kakarot. And while you continue to try and convince yourself that you're actually going to beat me, you already know what my stance is, and so let's go. But don't be surprised when I start breaking you down during this battle, because you and I both know that you simply don't have what it takes to outlast me during this engagement, and I'm about to go and prove it to you, Kakarot. Very interesting, Whis went on to then quickly chime in upon Goku and Vegeta being shown breaking away, and as I find that both Goku and Vegeta's fighting prowess is starting to slowly increase more and more the longer they continue to battle, and since both of them also appear to be driven by the desire to best the other, Whis continues, if this battle wasn't already on a timer, then I'm afraid that they likely would have went on to battle one another for an extremely long time, to which it was only once again with both Goku and Vegeta shown having to collide yet again and creating a massive shockwave on Beerus's planet was when Whis went on to then continue. And while I don't expect anything less from either of them, their overall determination and focus is most definitely second to none in this regard. But even now, I still maintain my position that it'll be Goku who will be the one that will emerge as the winner by the very end of this. But my word, just look at them go. Goodness, what incredible intensity, Whis continues. And to think that we would be expecting anything less from them would be an understatement, but what say you, Lord Beerus? With Beerus responding, well, on second thoughts, I want these two off my planet immediately, Whis. Oh, damn them, because if I would have known that these two would already go and cause this much noise early on, then I would have told them to forget it, because if they continue to fight like this, then my entire planet is going to be destroyed. Well, as chaotic as their battle may seem, Whis went on to then observe, I do believe that they are also aware of destroying everything around them, which is why I ultimately also believe that they are holding back for the time being, unless of course something were to suddenly change, as Beerus went on to then respond, you call this holding back, Whis? For if I would have known that they would go all out and start thrashing my entire planet around like this, then I would have told them both to beat it and go destroy someplace else. Oh, come on, Vegeta. Hurry it up and annihilate that Saiyan before you both end up annihilating my entire planet here instead. To which all the while, in the meantime, with both Goku and Vegeta shown having to hold nothing back and going tit for tat against one another, was when Vegeta went on to miss his strike by then shouting, Bros, why don't you hold still? Are you scared that I'm going to hurt you a lot more than expected, or what? For you can't continue to run away from me forever, Kakarot, because sooner or later I'm going to catch you, and when I do, that's when I'm going to... And who exactly said that I was running from you, Vegeta? Primal Ultra Instinct Goku went on to then punch Vegeta across the face by responding, because that couldn't be further from the truth,
talk
and
your
you
shit,
know that it's
Goku.
not. And so whether you like it or not, when this is all said and done, whether we run out of time on the clock or not, the only one between us that will remain as the last man standing in the end will be me, and sooner or later as this goes on, Goku went on to then uppercut Vegeta by continuing, I'll make sure that you go on to understand this the hard way. Then it was only just upon with Vegeta then being shown having to grab onto Goku's arm mid-strike after Goku went on to oversee this was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, no, I don't don't think so, Kakarot, because as formidable as this primal form of yours appears to be, your speed will only get you so far here against me, and you should know better than anyone on what happens when you go and push me too far in battle, don't you? Because you should already know better by now, but what's wrong? You didn't think that I was going to give up that easy by now did you, Kakarot? Well, I honestly hope not, Vegeta then proceeded upon being shown having to headbutt Goku several times across the face, because this is only going to be the beginning of your torture, and so as long as I have you within my possession, I'm not going to stop until I cave your face in and force you to quit. And so go on then, Mr. Primal Power, give up, for you know that you can't continue to endure much more of this, and so now say it. Never, Goku then went on to pull his arm back by quickly shouting, and so you're crazy if you think that I'm going to continue to allow for you to get away with doing this, and so you can go and forget it, Vegeta. And so I'm not going to back down now, especially not while we're only just getting started, Vegeta. Oh, no you don't. I'm not letting you out of my sight that easily, Kakarot.
That shit clean. I like how he died.
Just then during the middle of the action that Vegeta saw unleashing several energy blasts upon Goku, with Goku being shown having to dodge each and every single one of them, was when Goku then went on to quickly respond. Your desperations are starting to show, and it's only because it's now beginning to reveal itself that it's only going to be a matter of time before you start to implode under the painful weight of your frustrations. And so even then, as good as you are, you won't be able.
Question: what would y'all rather have? Ultra Instinct, where you just dodge a nigga punch, or Ultra Ego, where you just every time you hit, you strong?
To be quick enough to catch me.
Let me know down below.
Those blasts of yours, and you know it, Vegeta. With Vegeta quickly responding, "Oh, is that so? Well, go on now. How long do you think you can keep this going without having me catch you within the process, Kakarot? Ask yourself this question, cause you and I both know that it won't be long now." But then it was only just within the quickness, with Goku shown having to miss his strike as Vegeta went on to lean on back, was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond. Oh, so I see that you're quite the escape master now, are you, Kakarot? Well, just so you know, that speed could only get you so far, and although you may be faster than me, you and I both know that my attacks are starting to take their toll on that body of yours, Kakarot. Ooh. And so face it, for you can only go as far as to keep this up for so long, and so one way or another, you will fall before me in battle, Kakarot. Well, as tough as you may be, and with how resilient you continue to be here against me, Goku quickly went on to then respond, you aren't going to sneak your way into trying to catch me off guard like how you think that you can, Vegeta, because I won't let you. Or so you think, Kakarot, because all I needed was just a second of your attention to be solely focused on me and me alone, as the rest was going to come as a surprise the longer that this goes. But even now, you don't really have to go and believe me, but I'll make sure to turn you into a believer once we are done. Wait, you what? Goku then went on to quickly respond upon being shown glancing on over and seeing all of those energy blasts now making their way right back towards him. Oh, I should have known that this was going to be your plan, but how is it that you were able to control their movements like this, Vegeta? Oh, what's wrong? Didn't think that I'd possess full range of control over my orbs of destruction now, did you, Kakarot? Ooh. For it hurts, doesn't it? Yes, it does. As I can only imagine that it might, but after learning under Lord Beerus and following his methods of approach certainly has its benefits, as you can see. As now that I have garnered your attention, you are going to pay dearly for it, just as I said that you would. For I went and had tried to warn you that I wasn't going to be as easy to deal with as you may have already assumed for it to be, Kakarot. And now for the finishing attack to signal the end of our battle in my favor once and for all, Vegeta went on to then spawn a Hakai Ball by responding, as this is it,
not the Hakai Ball.
It's over. But then, it was only surprisingly enough from out of nowhere, as Primal Ultra Instinct Goku was then shown making his way in and uppercutting Vegeta in the face and stopping him from launching his attack, was when Goku then went on to quickly respond, I don't think so, Vegeta, because you aren't the only one who will get to decide on when this battle of ours is going to end, and especially not while I'm still able to fight back against you, as Vegeta went on to then respond, and that is where you are wrong, you fool. For I will not allow for you to go and try to best me like how you've been shown doing in the past anymore, you clown. For we aren't done here, Kakarot. Not by a long shot, for this is far from over. Do you hear me? Vegeta went on to then kick Goku down by responding, far from over, Kakarot, and so as long as you continue to try to fight back against me, I'm going to still be standing right in front of you, ready to put you back within your place. Whoa, that was a close one just now, but be that as it may, Goku then went on to quickly stop himself by responding, and I'll be honest with you here and say that your power while wielding this mastered ultra ego form of yours is incredible, and as I really didn't think that you'd be going as far as to push me back like this, but don't get ahead of yourself either, Vegeta, Goku continues, because this very bloodlust that I can see pouring out from your very eyes is going to be what leads to your downfall, Vegeta. And so I take notice if I was you, because once I really start going out here against you will be the very moment where you realize that this battle is over, and so it'll only be a matter of time before you see, as Vegeta was then shown rubbing on his chin by then responding, you know, I'll admit that your primal power along with your skills are far sharper than I originally anticipated for them to be, as you are certainly making this far more difficult than I ever imagined that it would be out here against me, but don't get too comfortable, Kakarot, for I promise that I will run you down and exhaust that body of yours in no time, as in the end, when this is all said and done, I am going to be the one to show you on why my gas tank is far superior, along with why my mindset is far more adaptable than yours, Vegeta continues. And while you and I appear to be evenly matched thus far, I want you to know that you can go and hit me with as many attacks as you want, for it'll only continue to make me grow even stronger by the very end. And so what do you say, Vegeta questions? Shall we resume? As it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the Legacy of the Omniverse, the official top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, manga chapter number 2 special, then comes to a close. Well, actually,
Alright, man. Shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last story right here, or you can check the original top 5. I'm gonna have it right here. The original top 5. I'm gonna have it right here. I'm gonna have something right here. You know, you check out. I'm really excited for this chapter, man. This is about to be a good one, man. It's about to be so much shit in this tournament from what he explained it. But man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.